How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to go over in-op equipment. So we'll be referencing 91213 in the FAR aim. Now, there's two ways that I was taught to navigate through 91213. That's going to be rackets and cart. We're going to use rackets just because that's the one I'm most familiar with. However, we can come back and review cart. Now, assuming you don't have an MEL or a minimum equipment list, which most trainer aircraft don't, you may or may not have one. But what an MEL is, it's a minimum equipment list, and it's issued by the manufacturer, cleared by the FAA, stating that if equipment is in-op, you can just deactivate it, placard it, and still go fly. They're more so for bigger aircraft, but for most trainer aircraft, there isn't one. So we're going to reference 91213 Delta specifically because that's what goes over if you don't have an MEL. Now, the R in racket stands for regulations, so that's going to be 91205. So that's going to be your atomino flames and flaps and grab card. Now, I'm not going to go over all of the equipment, but you can pause the video and always come back to it. Atomino flames is for your VFR day, flaps will be for VFR night, and grab card will be for IFR. All right. The A stands for airworthiness directives. Is there anything that the FAA states mandatory or equipment that are mandatory to be operating in order to fly legally and safely? Then we're going to go down to kinds of equipment lists, or KOEL. It's going to be section 2 of the POH. The E stands for comprehensive equipment list. That's going to be section 6 of the POH. The T stands for type certificate data sheet or supplemental type cert. So is there anything from the manufacturer that states that specific equipment need to be operating? And the S stands for safety of flight. Now you can go through racket, and if there's nothing that legally binds you from not flying, well, you as the PIC have the final authority. So if you deem that in-op equipment is required to ensure safety of flight on your part, then you can always ground the aircraft. Now, at the very end of 91213 Delta, it states that the equipment needs to be deactivated or removed and placarded in-op. Now, if you look at 91213 Delta, it's going to bring up Part 43. What Part 43 is preventative maintenance. So it's things that we can do as pilots without an AMP or IA legally. Now, when it comes to equipment, the safest thing to do is to refer it to a AMP or IA. The reason why is because if you remove it and it weighs more than 1 pound and your aircraft is less than 5,000 pounds, which most trainer aircraft are, you need to make a whole new weight imbalance. You also need to log it correctly, and only an authorized person can do that. If you deactivate it, it needs to be covered up or zip tied. However, trainer aircraft are simple in comparison to jets, but when it comes to the circuiting and the wiring and all that stuff, it's probably safer to refer this to an expert. And that's why I say if you get asked who can deactivate, remove, or placarded, you can just say, well, I would refer it to a authorized AMP or IA, someone that's their expertise of their field. I think that's it for in-op equipment. Hope this helps, and everyone hope you have a great day. Thanks.